6:02. Are we on air? All right.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Today is Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. It is now 6:03 p.m., and this is a regular City Commission meeting of the City of West Miami. This meeting is called to order. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for your guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Item 3, roll call. Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Vice Mayor Natalie Emiliano Orbis.
Here.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Ivan Chavez Jr. is excused this evening. Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for April 3rd, 2024, regular commission meeting.
Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 5, public comments. For public comments, Mr. Mayor, I have citizen presentations. I have Yolanda Aguilar.
Okay. State your name and address for the record, please.
Sure will. Thank you. My name is Yolanda Aguilar. My address is 6404 Southwest 12th Street. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission. I hope I stay within the 3-minute allocation for speaker's time. I'm here today to voice my sentiments on matters pertaining to us as residents of the city. I want to talk about the building located on 67th Avenue and Southwest 8th Street. I'm sure you have seen it. It's the former Charlie's Auto Glass. That building was recently painted in black, all of the building in black with yellow accents. There should have been a special use permit process by the city prior to issuing a paint permit, and the colors don't even comply with your city ordinance, our city ordinance. I've been advised by several of my neighbors that they have expressed their sentiments to City Hall, and it kind of has fallen by the wayside. So I implore that you instruct or direct your administration to find a solution to this eyesore that has now been tagged. Secondly, I have taken notice that resolutions that identify projects that the city is working on, and some of them are very nice and a long time in the making. So I commend you for those. But the projects and the expenses on the resolutions fail to mention the funding source. And at this rate, with as many projects that you have in your queue right now, you're not going to be able to keep a true and correct fund balance. Almost certain, a formula that's almost certain that you will run out of money or go over project. And so I encourage the City Commission to return to identifying a funding source in your resolutions. It's clear that way. Next, and a most concerning matter, is the unjust and unfair situation that has resulted in the recent and mandatory retirement of our city's police chief. You will come to regret this decision and the loss of a well-respected 43-year law enforcement veteran and the stability that he brought to the city and to our department. This is our city, Mr. Mayor. All of you work for us, the residents of the city. This action was labeled as political by a sitting member of this commission, and this is shameful. These actions, as well as all the recent and abrupt terminations masked by retirements and resignations, are nothing more than retaliatory directed at the former administration. That would be me. I'm aware that the city continues to hire personnel that are not in the approved budget without going through a budget amendment process with salaries that commensurate with wealthier and larger cities. This will have an impact in the budget in our bottom line. It's our budget too. And you owe your taxpayers fiscal transparency. Mayor, I question your direction of our city. Our city events are catering mostly to non-residents of the city. And a budget cost in the amount of $150,000 a year of taxpayer dollars are being spent on those. An example, the Halloween event that drew almost 4,000 people to our park, limiting some of our own families from enjoying the event. Are you wondering why I am here today? I'm here today because I'm a lifelong resident that dates back to the day my parents bought our home in 1971. I grew up in West Miami, and I spent 40 years of my life serving the city that I love. And just so you know, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. In closing, I would like to extend tonight my congratulations to Vice Mayor Orbis Milian, and all I ask from you, Madam Vice Mayor, is that you exercise good judgment, stand for your values, and vote with your good conscience. I thank you for your time, and I want to say a few words on the proposed building at the rec center when the time comes. Thank you all.
Thank you. What item is that, Madam Clerk?
Item J, Mr. Mayor. I have for item A, Rebecca Sosa.
Well, could we do this, because it's not a public hearing? Can we allow the former manager to speak on item J as well? Can we clarify it for any speaking on item J to do at this point as well?
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, Vice Mayor and Commissioners, I'm not opposed to progress at all. I was at the helm of the city trying to save up as much money as we could, and I even spoke to your city manager, and he said, you saved it, and I'm going to spend it. And I get it. The city needs to move forward with projects, but I think there should have been a little bit more of public participation before you award a $6.2 million project that is going to come at a price to the taxpayers. I think you should have had a little bit more public involvement before you vote here tonight to award that contract. That's my comment.
Thank you. Next speaker? No, on item J, this, you can include in public comments. If you'd like to speak on a separate, public comment and speak on item J, that's perfectly fine. Item J is going to be, if you have comments on item J, which is the rec center, feel free to use this time in public comments to express them. Next speaker, please.
Not just, that'll be all, Mr.
Is,
Mayor.
anyone else for public comments? You don't need a speaker card. Go ahead.
That's what I said.
Say your name and address for the record.
My name is Carla Santiago. I'm the owner of MKS Automotive, which you all are very familiar with. First, I want to ask you to excuse me if I get emotional. The first time I was here, it was the happiest day of my life. Today I come, and it's one of the saddest days of my life. This is something that's extremely difficult for both my husband and myself. After 13 years of being an anchor tenant, 13 years of dedication to the community, to the city of West Miami, assisting residents when they have needs, fixing their cars, sometimes not even charging them because they couldn't afford it. 13 years of cultivating an amazing relationship with the city of West Miami and its officials. A relationship that city employees, hold on, sorry. I need to calm down. A relationship that city employees felt comfortable enough to come see us if they were unable to repair a vehicle and didn't have the tools or didn't have the knowledge to fix the city vehicles. We would fix the city vehicles for them for free, at no cost. During the worst time of my life, December 23rd, 2019, my son, Corey Matthew Santiago, died in a car accident. January 1st, you guys received your rent check, no questions asked. During COVID, when nobody was working, nobody was paying their rent, We paid all of our rent and every dime and asked for absolutely no extension. We felt we had finally reached our final destination, our home. But on August 4th of last year, we realized that we were only a number. There was a change in city officials. We received a notice, not even a phone call, that we had a choice to stick to month-to-month agreement, rent, or we had a 15-day notice and we had to be out by September 1st, after 13 years. At that moment, I realized that the city had lost its compassion. And it was only about dollars and bills at this point. A city that was like family. We treated the building as if it was our own, although the building is not in the best of conditions. We didn't receive it in the best of conditions. We worked in it not being in the best of conditions. We made it work and only asked for repairs when it was a must. If it was a danger to our customer or to us, we would request you to fix it. That was it. Everything else we handled. After several pleas, phone calls, emails, and meetings, it was apparent that it's just about the building and us not being there. The only way we could stay was if we got a month-to-month agreement and a rent hike from $5,450 to $8,450. My husband and I sat in front of the city manager in tears. Second worst day of our life. When the city manager told us, oh, I didn't realize it was 55%. Let me look at the numbers. Let me see what I can do for you. This was October the 20th. I didn't hear anything back until, I think it was January, the day I was going to my 50-year-old friend's funeral. I got the agreement. Nothing had been changed. It was the same rent. It got to the point where I had to get an attorney involved, and I had to pay an attorney to draw up an agreement with Mr. Villalobos, who the last commission meeting was so proud to say that he avoided a whole bunch of litigation vacating the building at MKS Automotive. There's only one thing I want to say here today. 13 years of my life I put into this city. When I signed that lease in 2010, I thought I was signing the final lease of my home. That building has been leased for the last 50 years. Never did I think that we would be booted out like trash. A city of compassion. You guys talk about being residents. You guys talking about helping small business. A woman-owned small business in a man's industry. I've lost 50% of my business because of where I've had to move. Because nobody wants to rent to automotive repair facilities. I have a daughter going into law school and a son that suffers from depression that can't get past the loss of his brother. But that's my problem. That's not your problem. I just hope that everybody here never has to face what I'm facing. I hope your children don't have to face what I'm facing. And I sure as hope your grandchildren don't have to face what I'm facing. I'm a woman of faith. I've put my family, my business, and everything in God's hands. But I do believe that what goes around comes around. Thank you very much for the 13 years. Yolanda, I didn't know you were going to be here today. I want to thank you for being there on that 23rd when I called you and I told you that my son had died. And you told me not to worry about anything. Thank you very much. That's the compassion that this city needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Again, Mr. Mayor, for item J, I have Rebecca Sosa. I don't know if she wants to address the City Commission right now.
Commissioner, name and address for the record, please.
Rebecca Sosa, 6386 Southwest 10th Street. And I have been in West Miami, I forgot the years, I think it's like 40-something years. Thank you, good evening, everyone. I am here to speak about the expansion of the rec center. Neighbors have come to me to discuss this and voice their concerns, asking if I know what's going on. They would like to have a say about the development and be able to actively participate and provide feedback. This is especially important since the construction that is being contemplated may lead to road closures and inconvenience the residents of the neighborhood. $1 million of the West Miami tax-paying residents go towards the operation of the park. They should be included in the decisions being made. So I'm here to encourage you and to ask you to hold community meetings and engage residents in the process. Property owners deserve an opportunity to participate in a project that promises to change the landscape of the park, and they need to know about the plans for a one-way street to accommodate additional vehicles. The neighbors are extremely frustrated because they didn't know about it like I didn't know about it. And they told me, but they are already doing construction and everything, and never sent us notices so we could go and see what they were planning to do and give opinion. It's important that neighbors that are the owners of the city see what is proposed so they can give their opinions. And that is, I'm here just because many of them came to my house and called me, and they were frustrated, and I started looking at the past things, and I don't even know if that went to zoning, but 3 floors adjacent to residential houses. If they do a party there, the sound, the music, the drums, people are not going to be able to sleep. So please look at everything you're doing and let the community know what is going to happen, and listen to their opinions, because their opinions are important. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you.
And by the way, we had the greatest chief of police in this city, which was, it's not here anymore.
Thank you. Anyone else for public speaking at this time, for public comments? Going once and twice. Next item.
Item 6, report of the city manager.
Mr. Manager, your report.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Good evening, Mayor, Commission, and residents. As customary, you have the manager's report that's been handed out to all of you all. I do want to take a moment and thank our Public Works, Police, Communications team for another incredible event this last couple weeks ago with the Camping on the Stars. And I want to remind the Commission that our Mother's Day event is this Saturday. We do have, and we will send it out via email, the upcoming events that are on the docket, so that you all can look at it and see if there's a conflict that we can move forward on it. I want to take a second and say it's been a remarkable first year. We have really done much good for the city. We've had a remarkable year full of events, reorganizing our staffs, implementing financial security by putting aside close to $3 million in a lockbox, and hopefully moving forward tonight with the state-of-the-art multi-generational center. We've reinstated bicycle patrols, we have lowered crimes, we started traffic calming initiatives, drainage projects. We are now cleaning our public right-of-ways, our sidewalks. We are starting and amplifying our tree trimming and starting a tree planting within the next week or two. Launched a new website, reignited our social media, improved services and responses to our residents, and we've even increased our building services by adding more inspections and oversight. None of this would have been possible without the vision of this commission and the amazing staff that we have accumulated here in West Miami. I remind you, as you're fond of reminding us, we've done this while we have been lowering our tax rates to our residents. I'm also asking our financial director If she can come up for one quick second and give a very quick 6-month overview into our year, I think it's actually really pretty apropos right now.
Take your time.
As she's coming up, let me finish up my comments. As you all know, our police chief has taken a leave, and he's retiring as of July 1st. In the meantime, Assistant Deputy Chief Delgado will be the acting chief. If Acting Chief Delgado can come up and talk about the bicycle initiative and also another patrol that we're doing on the parks while she's
Go ahead.
getting her financial stuff together, I would appreciate it.
Yep.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. We already have a directed patrol that we direct our officers both on bikes, motors, and units to go by the parks. That's a mandatory patrol that happens throughout the shift on both shifts. What we've implemented now recently is that they will be going by those parks every 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the calls for service, and the bike unit is going to concentrate their efforts on the parks that are not already attended. For example, the rec center, we have an officer there pretty much all day. So the Garden Club, Cooper, and Lorraine that are basically unsupervised, the officers are going to be doing appearances there every 30, 40 minutes.
Anyone have any questions on
This
this?
actually came from a request from Vice Mayor Milian Orbis to us to please look at directing police patrols. We sat down, we went through it, and we're going to increase it dramatically. On top of everything else, we have our cameras that we've been working on. They're about to become operational in the next few days. So that's also another added.
That CCTV in the parks?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So our dispatch will be able to monitor the parks 24/7.
Beautiful.
I don't want to delay this as the financial director doesn't have this. I can tell you that the first 6 months, we're within our budgets. Our revenues she is projecting that we will finish the year in the positive for this fiscal year after the first 6 months. Everything is trending in the right direction, and everything is trending the way we all expected it. With that, I will close the manager's report.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the manager on his report?
Yes, I do. I do have a
Go ahead,
question.
Commissioner.
The bathroom situation, why is it that we have these, looks like a permanent, not permanent, but it's going to, looks like it's going to be there for a long time. Typically, they're on wheels. These are not on wheels. It looks like it's going to be there for a long time. So if you can
Vice,
explain that.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, it's going to be a hard habit to get over that. Commissioner Blanes, as you all know, at the last meeting, we passed an emergency resolution asking for some money to fix a long-standing issues that we've had in City Hall with our plumbing. After that meeting, it's come to light that there has been some issues with that for a considerable amount of time. The bathrooms would back up, and they would actually clean it at the end of the day. The shifts here would clean at the bathroom. The Public Works Department would clean out the lines. Unfortunately, when we went to clean out the lines this last, I believe it was Monday, the line ruptured. So now we have to replace, unfortunately, all the plumbing lines that were done, that have not been maintained or were not installed in the correct manner when they were first put in. In the meantime, we brought in a comfort trailer to the front so that our residents and our public can have a bathroom in the front. While we're going forward with fixing all this, we are hoping that we can get this done in a 2 to 3 week period. So it won't be that long, but at the end of the day, it will resolve the issues with the bathrooms that have consistently backed up and have never been really maintained properly.
Any other questions for the manager on his report? All right, next item.
Item 7, report of the city attorney.
Mr.
Good
Attorney.
evening. I have to report that we have prevailed in every single proceeding in the appeal that had been filed by a citizen before the Third District Court of Appeals. We have prevailed in the hundreds of pages of documents presented. We have prevailed in dozens of citations and case law. And presently, the petitioner is threatening to go to the Supreme Court of Florida. We expect the Third District Court of Appeal again to file in our favor, since we have been consistently successful in repealing that what we consider a very frivolous case.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for the attorney on his report? Seeing none, thank you. Next item.
Item 8, report of the city engineer.
Good evening. I have no particular report tonight, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, but I do have an important item on the agenda tonight, and I just wanted to thank you guys for your continued trust, and I look forward and hope to continue to serve the city here in the coming years, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions on ongoing projects, I'm here.
Does anyone have any questions on anything you're seeing out there? Not right now. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, item 9.
Item 9, committee reports.
Does anyone have any for committee reports? Seeing none, next item.
Item 10, unfinished business, none this evening. And as we proceed to item 11 under new business agenda item, is there any item that you would like to take out of order, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
We have a presentation, item 11E, presentation to residents of the city of a proclamation.
Vice Mayor, your item F, are we doing that?
No, I would just request after the meeting if we can take a photo with the proclamation
Okay.
for my colleagues.
Okay.
And-
So item F we'll do after the meeting, just a photo. Item E, Commissioner Suarez, are your residents here for presentation?
Yes, I would like to go ahead with that.
So let's take item E and let's take item H and I out of order. Item E first.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Item 11E, this is a presentation of proclamations to residents Mario Hernandez and Carlos Salman in recognition for their outstanding Christmas decorations and remarkable contributions in spreading joy and holiday cheer. This item is sponsored by Commissioner Suarez.
Well, these two neighbors spend a lot of money in Christmas time. But not only that, they are very good, successful business people. Mario has been successful in construction, in many other things. And Carlos Salman Jr. is the son, for many people that doesn't remember or doesn't know, is the son of Carlos Salman. His father passed away years ago. He was the strongest president of the Republican Party in Dade County. He was in the beginning of the Day Days. That festivity is celebrated in Tallahassee for the people, the elected officials and bureaucrats from Miami. They go to Tallahassee to talk to the governor and other officials there. He was one of the creators. He was in the beginning with the Republican Party, have Roberto Casas as a senator, Javier Soto, all those Cuban Americans. We have talked about the Cuban Americans because it's the people that I know and the community know, and was the people that was acting senators, representative Ileana Rose. When that people started in Tallahassee, your father was the movie star, we may call him. Carlos Salman was the person who gave money for those things and create that group of very important personalities in the legislature in Tallahassee. So I am very happy. And I think Rebecca Sosa knows very well his father. And I think
Do you have the,
I am very happy to present to thank Mayor.
could we all join up front? Commissioner?
Recognition for the Christmas party. Many of you maybe drive 10th Street and you saw the two houses with a lot of lights and a lot of things. These two gentlemen, Carlos Salman, and remember, your father was a very important person here in the community. When years ago he was a child, and Mario, a very successful businessman. So, this is okay, now, where are the holiday season? You want to read them here?
I can read if you want,
No, I mean, wait. I want you to participate in this.
Okay.
Read it.
Whereas the holiday season is a time for celebration and festivity for people of all backgrounds and traditions, and the residents of our city can showcase unparalleled creativity and dedication in embellishing their homes, enchanting displays, illuminating the hearts of all who pass by. And whereas in these challenging times, the reference have served as beacons of hope, uniting our community in a shared celebration of love, generosity, and compassion. And whereas it is fitting and proper to recognize and commend these individuals for their efforts and contributions to enhancing the beauty and spirit of our community during the holiday season. Now therefore, I, Mayor Eric Drum, Vice Mayor Natalie Mejia Ortiz, Commissioners, Manchado Jr. and Luciano Suarez, do hereby recognize Carlos Salman and Mario Hernandez in the city of West Miami, and hereby extend our deepest gratitude to each and every resident who has adorned their homes with expensive splendor, bringing warmth and cheer to our streets. We call upon our community to join us in applauding and honoring Carlos Salman and Mario Hernandez on this first day of May in the year 2024, sponsored by Commissioner Flores.
Merry Christmas. Second Vice Mayor here. All right, now, Mario. Show the, okay, now.
Ready?
I tell you, very two good neighbors,
2, 3.
important people.
One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. I tell you, your father was a very, very important guy. I think Rebecca Sosa remember him, the city attorney also remember him, and worked with him. Yolanda, you too, that night they started the Christmas party here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing with us all this moment. These two gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, item H and I, please.
Yes. Item 11H, request for mitigation of lien for court violation of the property located at 5760 Southwest 9th Street and owner Adolfo Ospina.
And read the resolution, please.
Yes, a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation offer in the amount of blank from Adolfo Ospina on court enforcement lien for court violations of the property located at 5760 Southwest 9th Street, West Miami, Florida, providing that if payment in full is not paid by blank, then the amount owed shall revert to the original lien amount, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Mr. Ospina or representative? Name and address for the record, please.
My name and address?
Yes.
Adolfo Espina, address 5760 Southwest 9th Street, West Miami, Florida, 33144.
Thank you. Go ahead. Actually, let's just get from the manager on this. Go.
Good evening. The violation has been cleared. He has finally he's worked with us and worked very hard to get it cleared. Our recommendation is we can waive the, our deal here is just to have code enforcement and code compliance, and he has complied, so my suggestion is that we waive it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for the manager on this? All right. Go ahead and entertain a motion.
Motion to waive the fee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll call the roll, please.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's get back to the order of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Item 11 under new business agenda item is item 11A. This is a second reading and a public hearing. An ordinance of the mayor and the city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the investment and reinvestment of surplus public funds by the city manager or his designee as chief financial officer to the city commission on behalf of and in the name of the city commission, authorizing the investment and reinvestment of other surplus public funds by the city of West Miami, authorizing the investment and reinvestment of such public surplus funds in investment securities, requiring that a cash management and investment policy be adopted pursuant to resolution of the City Commission, providing for conflict and severability, providing for an effective date. This is a public hearing, and it was advertised on April 15, 2024, on a newspaper of general circulation, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Public hearing is now open. Anyone who would like to speak on item A, please step forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Mr. Manager, is there anything we need to further discuss on this item? Any amendments that we need to put in?
No, sir, this is just a policy that we're trying to implement for any surplus funds that we may want to do, like the state of Florida, and invest it in some other sources.
Beautiful. Does anyone have any questions of the manager on this item? Any questions, administration? Can I entertain a motion?
Motion.
You have a motion?
Second.
You have a second? Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 11B, second reading and public hearing, an ordinance of the mayor on the city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, amending Chapter 9, Article 7 of the Code of Ordinances, transient vacation rentals, including additional definitions, expanding life safety requirements, requiring smoke and carbon monoxide detectors hardwired to the main electrical system in every room of the vacation dwelling, requiring ground fault circuit interrupters, requiring licensed electrical contractors to conduct any electrical installation, increasing license cost to $2,500 per year, limiting to one permit and one unit per vacation rental dwelling, requiring proof of registration of vacation rental property with the property appraiser of Miami-Dade County, providing for sanctions, repealing sections of Chapter 9, Section 7 in conflict with this ordinance, providing for severability, providing for renumbering, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. This public hearing was advertised on April 15, 2024.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone who would like to speak on item B, now is the time. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Commissioner Blanes, Vice Mayor Milian Orbis, this is your items. Speak on it.
Yeah, basically, this is protection for the residents and protection for the possible renters that will occupy this dwelling. You know, life safety is above all, everything else. I think that by requiring ground fault interrupters in the kitchens and the bathrooms, that's the very least that the code makes other dwellings have. So we need to make sure that all these dwellings that are going to be short-term rentals have this. You know, so basically it would be a protection to these possible renters that are going to come into our city and enjoy our city. And basically also protection for the residents. We're a small city with a relatively small budget, so having this fee will alleviate, you know, some of the issues as pertaining to the use of police, code enforcement, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a good thing to have. It will improve the quality of life of all the residents here in the city of West Miami, and it will protect the visitors that are going to come here.
Okay, Mr. Manager, what is the current registration fee?
The current fee, sir, is $2,000.
How much?
$2,000.
And this is to 2,500?
Yes, sir.
But all these other provisions, the electrical, all that is new as part of the ordinance, right? Commissioner?
Correct.
Well, I'll speak last. Vice Mayor, do you have anything to add on this?
No, I'm ready to make a motion when appropriate.
All right, I would suggest that we keep it at 2,000. Obviously, your item, I mean, it's a majority rule here. I would suggest we keep it at 2,000 for, a couple of reasons, but that's my suggestion. I mean, we can certainly.
That's the initial yearly fee, and it's a one-time fee, correct?
That is correct. That's the initial registration fee is $2,000
Right.
currently.
And they pay that, and that's it. They can renew the license the next year without having to pay the $2,000, correct?
They can renew the license thereafter for $250 every year.
For $250.
Yes, sir.
So they renew the license for $250, and they pay initially $2. So, Vice Mayor, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, is the city going to have to incur additional work to manage?
Some of the
new-
additional, I'm sorry,
No,
Vice
go
Mayor, I
ahead.
didn't mean to step on you. Some of the additional work that's being imposed will have a fee that's associated with it from the inspection point of view, so it'll be a revenue neutral in that regard.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'm okay with that.
With that friendly amendment, I'm in favor. If somebody wants to make a motion on that, or you can make a motion on the original.
With-
I mean,
With the friendly amendment that the fee is 2,000
Yeah,
versus
right.
2,500? Okay, let's.
Mayor?
yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
the friendly amendment is, so that we have it clear, because it says 2,500 annually here. It'll be 2,000 plus
Correct.
plus 200,
Yeah.
250, okay.
Correct.
We have
That would be a friendly amendment.
$2,500, right?
So,
Actually.
so do we have to amend it, or does it stay as it is?
No,
Because-
all they have to do is propose the friendly amendment, or anybody can,
Right.
or you can do it.
Okay.
Okay. So
So-
would anyone like to do that?
So I make a motion proposing keeping it at $2,000 like it was before, and everything else.
And adding all the safety
goes.
initiatives.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Motion.
Do you have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, beautiful. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
4-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item.
Next item, item C, second reading and public hearing, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, adding Article 4, Purchases and Contracts, Section 2-74, surplus property, providing for direction to dispose of operational or obsolete assets owned by the City of West Miami, providing for codification, conflict severability, and providing an effective date. This was advertised on April 15, 2024.
This is a public hearing. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on item C, time is now. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Back to the table. This is housekeeping. Does anyone have any questions on this?
I have a comment.
Go for it.
I wanted to make an amendment because it's a little vague as it is. It says the city. So I wanted to add in that it's the city manager who determines what is surplus, obsolete, et cetera. And that in his report, he lets us know what is being sold and surplused so
Okay.
that we keep track of these items.
Mr. Manager?
The Vice Mayor and I had that conversation. I concur. It's
All right.
part of transparency and letting our residents know what's going on.
Sounds good. Good amendment. Does anyone else have,
I think we have the water pumps, some water pumps. and some-
Currently, right now, we have a couple of obsolete pumps that are an issue, and that will potentially be some of the things that we move on from, yes.
all right. Does anyone have a motion on this?
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I
Motion.
make a motion with
Okay.
the amendment, the proposed amendment.
Second.
Motion as amended, seconded as amended. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you
Yes,
vote? Commissioner
yes.
Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
4-0, item passes.
thank you.
Item D, 11D, second reading and public hearing, an ordinance of the mayor on the City Commission of the City of West Miami, amending City of West Miami zoning ordinance 282 as amended, Section 48.3, general regulations common to R1, R2, A, and C, use districts, prohibiting the overnight parking of any commercial type vehicle on any public or private in an R1, R2, or A use district except in a completely enclosed garage or side of the dwelling, providing for registration and registration fee, providing for penalties, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for transmittal, and providing for an effective date. This public hearing was advertised on April 15, 2024.
Okay. Public hearing is now open. Item D. Anyone wishing to speak on item D? Time is now. Seeing none. Public hearing is now closed. Commissioner Blanes, I know this is your item. Vice Mayor Orbis, I know you co-sponsored it. I would just, off this record, like off the top, say, if we could, I'll vote for it, but can we get some sort of 6-month implementation period to make sure that we have, that we can further looking at it and make sure that we know how to enforce and all that stuff.
Mr. Mayor, absolutely. Six months is good for me. I think it'll be good for the residents that have these types of vehicles, commercial vehicles, and they can.
It'll give us time to explain everything and make sure that we don't run into any problems and we can maybe fix anything before it becomes.
Correct. And just to be clear, to clarify to everyone, we're not taking away their rights to have a commercial vehicle. They can have a commercial vehicle stationed in the city of West Miami after hours, but it has to conform to where they need to have it parked on their property. This will improve the quality of life. It will enhance the look of the neighborhood. A lot of people are spending a lot of money in their homes, fixing up their homes. We have a lot of new families, young families moved in, and I think that by doing this, it will enhance the overall look of the neighborhood and improve the quality of life. Again, we're not going to hurt the homeowner that has a commercial vehicle. They can have their commercial vehicle as long as they comply where they're going to station it and the way that is going to look.
Vice Mayor, do you have anything to add on this item?
I wanted to thank Commissioner Blanes for bringing this forward. I know that I sat on the Planning and Zoning Board for quite a while, and I know that this was an issue that was constantly before us and something that we wanted to propose to the commission on that board. So, thank you. And I think 6 months is fair to do the proper campaign to the residents to let them know that this change is coming so that they can move their vehicles and park them appropriately.
And I like to say that the 6 months, it should not be carved out in stone. I think that we should work with the resident, Mr. Manager. If they are in the process or in the near process of being able to comply, we will work with them and accommodate them and give them extra time if they need time.
Right, that's the point of the 6 months. You can sniff all that out and, work to fix any issues that would arise, even issues with the ordinance. You can kind of figure out and make adjustments because you have time before.
Yeah.
So that we might not realize yet. So.
But we have already something related to.
Yeah, we have some ordinances regarding that.
Regarding this today.
Yeah.
To clarify the commercial vehicles in this case.
May I be heard, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead, Mr. Attorney.
Okay, there's two issues that you have to address. It's Section 4, violation of this ordinance shall result in a fine of.
I'm sorry?
Violation of this ordinance shall result in a fine of how many dollars?
Mr. Manager, I think you had the recommendation on that.
I would recommend that the first offense be $150, and after the third, we can escalate it to $300.
Okay. Well, and again, we can take the next 6 months playing with that, but let's use that as a placeholder, unless Commissioner, unless you want to amend that.
That's fair. That's fine.
Okay.
Second issue,
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, you have to address Section 7 and amend Section 7. It says the ordinance shall become effective upon the adoption and approval by the mayor and city commission.
Right, but we're going to amend that. We're going to put a 6 month delay on that. Assuming that's part of the motion. Okay, does anyone from the board have any questions, comments, concerns, motions? Motions?
Motion.
Motion? Motion as, with the amendments?
Yes.
Okay. So motion with the amendments, we have a second?
Can I ask a question before?
Go ahead, you hold your motion. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Can it become effective today with a 6-month grace period? Is that not something that we can do? Or does the item have to be changed to start the effective date 6 months from today?
Just
It
what
should
she's saying
be
is,
very clear.
can we pass the item and then in turn, not in turn, but basically put a 6-month moratorium essentially?
Moratorium on applying the fines.
Well, it is not in this ordinance. I mean, it says that it shall be effective on, and it should have a date. So if you want to say, we're going to have an effective date of today with a 6-month extension, you may do so, and that would be an amendment to the
Okay,
the ordinance.
it's the same, it doesn't, it gets the same result there. Mr. Manager, you concur? It gets the same result. Either way, there's a 6-month delay in the enforcement of the piece. Does that resolve your concern, or?
Yes.
Okay. We have a
Second.
motion, we have a second. Call the roll?
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Item F, we are going to hold until following the meeting. We'll be taking a photo, but we can just eliminate that one.
Yes, I'm going to read
That's going to be on Israel's Independence Day, brought by Vice Mayor Milian Orbis.
Yes, it's a presentation of proclamation celebrating Israel's Independence Day, sponsored by Vice Mayor Milian Orbis. So after the meeting, you'll take a picture. Next item is item 11G, resolution. Yes, Mr. Mayor?
No, go ahead.
Yes.
My understanding is that item getting deferred?
Yes.
Okay.
Does she have to read it?
No, this item G is getting deferred.
I'm requesting a deferral so that I can work with the attorney and the administration to make sure that the intent of the item is there when we bring it back, the original intent.
Okay.
Thank
Duly
you.
noted.
Item J?
Next item will be item J, resolution of the mayor on the city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, declaring an emergency pursuant to Florida statute 287.057, according to the memorandum by the city manager dated May 1st, 2024, for attached as Exhibit A, accepting the recommendation of the administration to award John Bell Construction Incorporated a contract to construct a multi-purpose recreational facility at the Recreation Center Park based on RFP 2024-10-006 in the amount not to exceed $6,200,000, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with John Bell Construction Incorporated, funding to be provided by ARPA, remaining funds from Phase 1 construction, a park reserve fund, and state grant. See Exhibit B, providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by administration.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, floor is yours.
Yes, good evening again. First, I want to address that we have had numerous presentations to our Parks Committee, public presentations to our Parks Committee, numerous presentations to this commission on this project. They're looking now for the renting so we can put it up. We've had a building that has been having numerous issues, from water penetration and a non-secured building for quite some time. We need to move forward with this, because what was happening with the water and the litigation and all the other issues that we've had out there has made this a need for us to move forward and provide the services that our residents need. We went through the process. We have a qualified bidder. He's come in below the number that was approved at the last commission, and we feel confident that this building could be done within a year. And I believe that this is something that the majority of our residents need, want, and are looking forward to having. And by the way, this is for Phase 1, which is the building only.
Okay. Anyone on the board want to speak on this item? Do we have, anyone on the board to speak on this item? Do we have the amounts and the recommendation from administration?
The bid the bid that we opened up today was for a little bit under $5.6 million on the basic. There's around 300,000 of add-ons that we may choose to do moving forward, which take it up to $5.9 million. And we've identified $6.2 million of funding.
Beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for the manager on this? Administration generally?
No, I think we need to get on with it. I think this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful project. I think this is going to set the city apart from other areas of Miami-Dade County. I think we will be the envy of Dade County. This park, I hope the residents were watching when we had the presentation by the city manager. The funding has been allocated, every cent, and we've all had presentations, and we've all had financial presentations, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this project to start and finish. So I make a motion.
Hold on, let's,
Mr. Mayor,
hold on, yep.
may I have just a minute
Go
to
ahead.
clarify for the record
Yes.
on the opening date was April 30, 2024 at 3 o'clock. One bid only was received by John Bell Construction in the amount of $5,999,428.97. Just to clarify for the record.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
Question for the manager.
go ahead.
you need to call for public representation.
I have
This is
a
not a
question.
public hearing item.
Sir?
This is not a public hearing item.
Okay, it's up to you.
No, I mean, it's not up to me. It's not a public hearing item.
Okay,
Why would you suggest
Why-
that,
yeah,
Mr.
why-
Attorney?
sir?
Why do you suggest
If you,
that?
if you believe it's a public hearing item, then no problem. Obviously, it's not an
Well-
ordinance.
It's
It's
not
a
an
resolution,
ordinance.
actually.
So, okay.
I have a question
Go
for
ahead.
the manager. We have allocated 6.2 million, right?
We have identified $6.2 million, yes, and that's what we did at the last commission meeting.
So we have the money allocated for that.
Yes, sir, we do. The majority of it is coming from ARPA funds that must be spent by the end of this, allocated or spent by the end of this year, or it goes back to the federal government.
So I'll speak on this. We've, so obviously following our, and I want to congratulate the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, who we have a member here, some really good members who are very active users of the Parks and Recreation. We activated that board. Commissioner Blanes, you were chair of the board for a long time. We gave it a little bit more responsibility to give advisory steps and recommendations. They held multiple meetings. We've, the last year, we've put it out on newsletters. It's been very well received. What has not been well received is the lack of construction that's from the gym that was started there. And obviously that's caused a lot of issues for us with water damage and obviously litigation that's come out of from that. So what I get calls on all the time is, you know, what's going on with the gym, what's going on with the rec center, you know, why is the construction stalled? And, you know, we need to move forward on that already. I mean, I get people knocking my door every day, you know, to you know, move the rec center forward. And so I'm glad that we're taking this step today. And I agree with Commissioner Blanes. This center is, I mean, I've shown it to our Congresswoman, I've showed it to our county commissioner, I've shown it to our state reps. They've all committed to helping with funding additional. They've all committed to the vision of the center, and they're all very excited about it. So we're moving in the very right direction here. I think that's going to be a generational project, and you know, I'm very excited to move forward, and I look, hopefully we'll have the call of support on this as we go forward.
I would like to add that the sentiment that I have personally is the same. I have many people that call me all the time. They even come to my door and knock on my door, sometimes late at night after work, and they're so excited about it. I mean, they can't wait. I mean, I get calls all the time, and visitors, and so on and so forth, and people can't wait. It's a very positive thing, it's a great thing, it's going to set this city apart. The services are going to be outstanding. So, yeah, this is a happy, very happy moment for the city of West Miami. Yep.
Vice Mayor, Commissioner?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I made a motion.
We have a motion? We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Suarez, how do you
Yes.
vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 11K, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, declaring Law Enforcement Appreciation Day in the city of West Miami on May 10th, 2024, and the Friday before National Police Week in every year thereafter, providing for an effective date. This
Vice
item
Mayor?
is sponsored by Vice Mayor Milian Orbis.
I defer that one.
It's your item.
Yes, thank you. So I'm proud to sponsor this resolution declaring May 10th as Law Enforcement Appreciation Day in the city of West Miami. And it's coinciding with the Friday before National Police Week annually. This special day is dedicated to recognizing the courageous men and women in law enforcement who risk their lives daily to ensure our safety. It's a day to honor their sacrifices and the essential role they play in maintaining the peace and security in our community. And I encourage every resident to join us in showing appreciation for our officers' dedication and bravery. So with that,
Well, if
I'm
you have,
happy to present
if you don't have the votes here, I don't know where you have them. So, go
Thank
ahead.
you.
thank you.
Vice Mayor, thank you for bringing this up. Thank you. I applaud you.
Absolutely. Do we have a motion? Can we let the Vice Mayor motion this one?
Yeah, can I move it? Yeah.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item L, a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida relating to procurement, approving contractor selection of Optim Environmental and Infrastructure LLC as the highest ranked proposer pursuant to RFP 2024-20-002 West Miami Vulnerability Assessment Request for Proposal for the Development of Citywide Vulnerability Assessment related to grant awarded to Florida Department of Environmental Protection's Resilient Florida Grant Program, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract in the amount of $55,000 to complete the citywide assessment and providing an effective date, sponsored by administration.
Thank you. Mr. Manager?
It's always good to have a grant that's got a zero city match. This is a fully funded grant from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to assess our vulnerability to sea level rises and water rises on our infrastructure, our storm pumps, our waters, our drainage system. And I'm glad that our procurement officer was able to go out and get this grant for us to be able to assess this for the future for our residents.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Any other questions for the manager on this?
No.
Take the money? Take the money? Okay. Can we have a motion?
Motion.
We got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. And thank you to our grant manager. Item 12, consent agenda.
Consent agenda items, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Does anyone wish to
6
pull
items.
any
Yes.
items from the consent agenda?
Yes.
If no one wishes to pull, someone,
Motion.
we have a motion on the consent agenda. Do you have a second? You can take your time looking at it. Does anyone have a motion on the consent, on the second on the consent agenda items?
I'll second it.
Okay, you have a second? Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you
Yes.
vote? Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item, and make sure we don't leave, because I know we have to do the presentation for the Vice Mayor's proclamation, so make sure we don't leave before we take that picture. Anyone for good of the order?
Oh, one second.
Oh, of
I know
course,
that
go
I had
ahead.
to make a comment on
Go ahead.
my item, and I know I probably have to reconsider the item, but
Okay.
I had spoken to.
Wait, which item, I'm sorry?
The Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Okay,
It's
go ahead.
K.
Go ahead.
There's a line here where it says, it mentions a year, but I know we have to correct it on the record in order for it to be,
I was hoping it was 20, I believe it was 2021.
yeah, so just with the correction of the addition of adding the year 2021 to that.
What is the reference on that?
The law appreciation.
It's the
one.
fourth whereas, it just says, it doesn't say the year, it just says deadliest year. So I wanted to make sure.
That's a Scrivener error, can we?
It's a Scrivener's
okay,
error, yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
We won't
just
need
to
to
add that. I wanted
reconsider
to
that.
Make
Okay.
sure I got that on the record.
Anyone for good of the order? Good of the order? Good of the order? No? Okay, I appreciate everyone. We will not stop working for the city of West Miami, and we will continue our progress. Thank you. The motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.